Hey y'all, how y'all doing? We're back in the car. I know usually there's like a nice little setup and everything like that, or maybe a little basic setup, but I'm just sitting here. I've been going through a little bit of emotional stuff lately, but we're still in our fear series. This is episode 6, I believe. But I just thought about it. I'm like, man, I just need to talk real quick, and just, I know somebody else has to be going through this, but the fear of being wrong. And I know that sounds like, she just don't want to be wrong. She don't want, no. It's more so like being afraid that you're going to be so wrong that it messes something up, or say something wrong, or do something wrong. Me personally, when I'm wrong about something, I'm literally like the first one to apologize. I'm very apologetic naturally, and sometimes to a fault, because like I'll apologize for like the littlest things, and people are like, why are you apologizing? And I know that it stems from the fact that there's so much trauma that I've gone through in my life, and like I just now have become okay with saying it's trauma, but there's so many things that I've gone through in my life that I'm like, there has to be something that I contributed to the situation. And instead of me waiting on, someone else to be apologetic, or waiting on something else to get fixed, or whatever it may be, I would rather make it right so that things don't get worse. I would rather halt whatever it is and just turn it in the right direction, as opposed to allowing it to just deteriorate. And I literally see this in a lot of relationships, a lot of, like in family, whatever, any like situations that I'm in. And I literally just came to this realization, like, I don't like to, like, being wrong about something or doing something wrong. I feel like it causes me to be more of a burden on a person or on a situation, or I hate doing stuff incorrectly, because there's so many things, like growing up with the whole self-esteem issue, and like, there's so many things that you already have to deal with. So you already have to deal with not looking the same. You already have to deal with not having a your perfect family, textbook family. You already have to deal with being not as rich as you'd like, So it's kind of like the one thing that I can control is what I put out into the world. In a way, the one thing I can control is my attitude and how I conduct myself in certain situations. So for me, it's like, I'm okay with not being the one who's correct in a circumstance, but like in the stuff that I can control, like if I'm gonna go to school and get a degree, like I'm going to school to get finish my nursing degree. I've just decided that. I don't know when, but it's going to happen, and I'm planning for that. But if I go back to school, I want to make sure, when I go back to school, I want to make sure that I set myself up for success. Like, I don't want to go back to school and have the same mediocre habits of studying that I did when I was in 11th grade. Like, I don't want to not get the degree. Like, I don't want to take a test and fail. Like, those are like, it's something that it's like a fear of mine. It's definitely a fear, and I like I said, I never even really noticed it. I don't want to not get it right. Like, everything I do, I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. And I think sometimes that fear has weighed on me so much that I can drive myself crazy. Like, I will literally allow that fear to be like, okay, if I'm going to do this wrong, I would rather just wait. Like, I would rather just wait and prepare. And sometimes that's good, because it's okay to prepare for things, but sometimes it can also hold you back. And I literally am praying and asking God, and this is not even one of those lessons that I'm like, yeah, I got through it. No, it's still happening. And it is not like I've overcome it. It's like it's always happening. Like, I want to make sure that I'm always doing the right thing. In a way, it's good, and in a way, it can be detrimental, because you're not always going to be right. You're not always going to be perfect. You're not, I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I would rather salvage what is good than to do something, say something, or cause something to happen that could be the detriment of whatever good there is. So this is just an encouragement for you and me. If you're like me and you have a fear of doing something wrong that could make something, not great, or saying something wrong and you're constantly apologizing for your opinion, or, like feeling like what you have to say is going to be an issue or something, like, if you're like me in any way, keep praying. Keep praying and keep trying, and keep understanding that life is not perfect. Your experiences are your experiences, and they're not going to be the same. They're not cookie cutter. They're not going to be the same as other people's. And as we keep growing, I hope for you and me that we realize, like, even when it's not perfect, it's all going to work out. It's all going to work out for good, no matter what the situation is. You're going to learn from something, or it's going to, be something that, as a memory, whatever. You're either going to learn from it, or it's just going to be something that's a memory. And that's just my opinion. So hopefully you'll be encouraged today. So much emotionally, like, usually I try to just keep it, I try to keep it cute, and I try to keep it encouraging, and but there's just these times where, even this could be encouraging, I hope, but there's just times when, like, I'm not feeling encouraging. I'm not feeling like primo, like, yay, and that's okay too. So I'm learning that. But I hope this fear series has been helping you to conquer your fears, as it has been helping me to be introspective and actually be vulnerable. We'll talk about vulnerability on our next episode, because my Lord, opening up is that's another one. But hopefully you'll learn something from this, encourages you, whatever. As I always say, please remember to love God, because He is a source of real love. Remember to love yourself and appreciate who God created you to be. And while you're getting all that love and learning these lessons, remember to love on other people, because that is the way your world will continue to go around. I love you so very much. Bye.